What does it take to truly slow the pace? My guest this week is here to guide us through a live meditation and help us find a little calm in the storm. This is the 5 a.m. Miracle, episode number 213, Meditation for the Soul with Preetha Krishna.
Meditation did creep into my life big time when I started having these experiences. There's one particular experience which kind of did not frame life in terms of past, present, and future, where life was just a beautiful flow.
Good morning, and welcome to the 213th episode of the 5 a.m. Miracle. I am Jeff Sanders, and this is the podcast dedicated to dominating, or should I say slowing your day before breakfast. Every Monday morning, my goal is to help you bounce out of bed with enthusiasm, create powerful, lifelong habits, and tackle your grandest goals with extraordinary energy. Here on this show, we do discuss early mornings, and we dive deep into topics like healthy habits, personal development, and rockin' productivity. This week, let's just dive right in with the feature segment. My guest today is a spiritual and philosophy teacher. Along with her husband, she has co-founded the One World Academy, a wisdom and meditation school for transforming human thought. She is the creator of many methods of meditation, leading to results ranging from stress relief to higher states of consciousness. She also architects the various immersion programs at One World Academy and mentors the worldwide community of meditation instructors and seekers. I'm very honored to speak with Preetha Krishna here on the 5 a.m. Miracle Podcast. Welcome to the show, Preetha.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Very glad to be here on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you today, especially around this topic of meditation. It's definitely one that I have kind of bantered with a little bit in the last few years, but something I'm getting a little more serious about today. And so I want to talk to you really about this topic and dive in deep if we can. But let's just first begin with kind of where meditation began for you. When did you begin your own practice?
Meditation began when I was 17 years old. And I was not a pro, definitely. The first time I meditated, I was supposed to focus on my breath, but I was able to focus on everything other than my breath. The second time, we were supposed to do a meditation that focuses on the tip of the nose. And I was like all the time wondering if I was going to go squint. But meditation did creep into my life big time when I started having these experiences, started having experiencing expanded states in consciousness. There was experiences where the mind was totally silent. There were experiences where the inner chatter was gone. There's experiences where I felt that there was no sense of self. Just that experience. There's one particular experience which kind of did not frame life in terms of past, present, and future, where life was just a beautiful flow. When I had these experiences in consciousness, actually meditation became part of my life because I knew it was a path for an expanded state. I knew it was a path to experience life differently. It was not only to experience certain silence, it is not only to experience relief from stress, but it was helping me experience life itself very differently.
Yeah, it sounds like a beautiful thing if you can do it well. And I'm curious about that. We'll get to that in a second. But before we do, I know that you teach different types of meditation. You kind of mentioned here that focusing on the breath or the tip of your nose. Are there many, what kinds of types of meditation could you do? Because I'm familiar with a few of them, but I'd like to hear kind of what you teach overall in terms of different ways to practice it.
Currently, meditation doesn't seem to have any end. There is walking meditation, there is breathing meditation, dancing meditation, moving meditation, eating meditation, sitting meditation. It doesn't stop. But what exactly is meditation for us at One World Academy is to declutch from the unconscious habitual thinking. For us, it means to move away from habitual thinking and into experiencing a beautiful state of consciousness. That is, for us, is meditation. At One World Academy, we're very well focused on improving the quality of life that we live. When we say improving the quality of life, improving the way you live life in terms of what you do with your work, the way you relate to your partner, to your child. Meditation has to have a direct influence on your everyday living. So it happens only when you are able to declutch from your habitual thinking. Otherwise, it is an old habit that is making you experience the current today, which is basically a lost life. So for us, meditation is about declutching from the unconscious habitual thinking. But if we want to categorize the entire world of meditation, we can categorize into 3 sections. The first one being, it could be a concentration-based meditation, where the mind is focusing, where you're focusing on one particular aspect. It could be a thing, it could be a mantra, it could be a form or a single point, but you're just focusing on one particular thing and you're obliterating the entire world. This kind of meditation, we would call it as a focus-based meditation or a concentration-based meditation. It is basically to improve focus. It's to prevent your brain from moving into degenerative diseases and to improve efficiency in your everyday life. So that will be the first. We call it the concentration-based meditation. The second one is a flow-based meditation, which is more like the mindfulness that we hear about. The flow-based meditation where you observe the movement. It could be a movement of breath. It could be a movement of thought. It could be a movement in nature. It could be a movement of body, where you're just observing the entire movement. And the purpose of this meditation would be to experience states of calm, well-being, to experience some peace within, to experience serenity and tranquility in life. The third meditation is a happening. Meditation here is not a conscious practice, it is a happening. Meditative states can happen spontaneously when we go through an intense crisis or we have an experience of, say, a breathtaking beauty, when you're doing a skydiving or holding a newborn baby in your hand. It's a very beautiful experience. So you're not consciously practicing meditation, but you're actually moving into the present, you're moving into the moment because of a heightened experience. And the meditative states can also be induced. These states can be induced when you practice prayer, fasting, when you're in solitude, when you practice some breath work or rigorous movements. And it ranges. These states range from transcendental experiences to experiencing the expansive states. So basically, if you want to categorize the entire world of meditation, it will be concentration-based meditation, it will be flow-based meditation, and it will be meditation as a happening.
Yeah, I like those breakdowns there. I was going to ask you, is there a best way to practice meditation? But it sounds like, I guess, the best way would probably determine what you're trying to achieve from meditation. Would that be correct?
Yes, definitely. Depends upon what you want, what you're seeking, and also depends upon which level you are. And there's every possibility that one becomes more easier for you than the other, depending upon the person you are. Each person is unique. So it's basically dependent on the person who's doing it.
So I was going to ask you as well, in terms of best practices. I know that length of time is a common question that I have for myself because I'll meditate for maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Is there an optimal length of time in terms of achieving the results you're looking for?
It depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for an enlightened state? Are you looking for a transcendental state? Are you looking for a little calm in your life? Are you just wanting to get rid of the stress that you're experiencing right now? So the question is up to you, Jeff.
Probably all of the above, I would say.
To experience expansive states and transcendental states in consciousness, we need definitely practice a little more. But at One World Academy, we have one central practice which every participant or every student of ours do throughout the world. And it doesn't take longer than 12 minutes. And it leaves a little option or a window for experiencing expansive states and at the same time feeling a lot of calm within you and also experiencing greater clarity in thinking. So we kind of packaged it, but it doesn't take longer than 12 minutes.
So then let's go through those 12 minutes then in terms of like how would that look in those 12 minutes? Are you in terms of location or like kind of body posture, is there an ideal way to practice in those 12 minutes?
Oh, yes. I can lead you. I don't know if you have the time for that, but I can either lead you it's called the soul sync practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I can lead you. I don't know if you have that time, or I can send you the attachment so you can share it with your viewers.
Yeah, if you want to do it right now, let's go for it.
Oh, perfect. So you just sit straight. So I'm going to lead you through it.
Okay.
So you're going to sit with your spine erect. And you're going to count your breath. So this involves counting your breath. So you're going to touch, and the way you're going to count your breath is with a touch of your thumb and your fingers. So for one cycle of breath, that is which includes inhalation as well as exhalation, you will touch your thumb and your index finger. For the second breath, you will touch your thumb and your middle finger. The third breath, you will touch your thumb and your ring finger. The fourth breath, we touch your thumb and the little finger. You got it?
Got it.
Yeah, and we will practice 8 cycles of breath for each step. It is very simple. Everybody can do it. It's not going to be difficult. So let's start. Close your eyes. Have your spine erect. You're going to inhale and exhale deep and slow through your nose. And you're going to gently touch your fingers, your thumb and your fingers. And you're going to keep the count of your breath. For the next 8 cycles of breath, you're going to inhale. As you exhale, make a humming noise, vibrating your entire head. This is to relax your body. So inhale. As you exhale, For the next 8 cycles of breath, you inhale and exhale, deep and slow. But you're going to bring your attention to the tiny little pause that happens between your inhalation and exhalation. For the next 8 cycles of breath, you're going to inhale. As you exhale, you're going to chant within yourself, I am the limitless consciousness. You inhale. As you exhale, chant within yourself, I am the limitless consciousness. Now gently bring a touch. Touch your thumb and your index finger. Gently feel the touch between those two fingers. Between the thumb and the index finger. Now see yourself expanding into light. See yourself expanding into light. Visualize, feel everything around you becoming light. The chair, the table, the walls, the trees, the soil. Everything expand into one consciousness. Everything expand into light. As you feel yourself expanded, as you see your sense of self expand, hold one heartfelt intention that you want to manifest in your life. Visualize or feel your intention manifesting in your life. Bring a gentle smile to your face. You may open your eyes. How do you feel, Jeff?
I feel great. Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, that's I really needed that today. Actually, that was great.
I didn't get you. What is the last thing?
I'll just say that I needed that today. I needed a sense of calm like that. It was very effective.
Yeah, it's very important that we start calming down and we learn to pause our lives. There is an ancient Indian fable. How much time do we have? We have time, right?
Yeah, we plan. Yeah.
Yeah. There is an ancient Indian fable where there are four friends who go and learn from a great scholar. And after their training, they're getting back to the village and they have to pass through a forest. And they're all very excited for having learned so much. And they come across a heap of bones. The first friend says, "You know what? You know what I can do with this knowledge that I've learned now? I can make it into a skeleton." So he puts all his knowledge and makes this heap of bones into a skeleton. The second friend says, "I can add flesh to it." The fourth friend says, "Don't do it." But he did not listen. He wanted to display his knowledge. And he added flesh to the skeleton, and there was a little lion there. And the third friend wanted to display his knowledge, and he says, "You know what I can do? I can add life to this lion." The fourth friend was smart. He climbed up the tree. The third friend immediately gave life into that lion. And lo and behold, all the three of them were eaten up, were devoured by the lion. Many times in our life, the life is so fast that we don't bring attention to our thinking. It becomes our emotion. We don't bring attention to our emotion, and it becomes our temperament. And from this temperament, we live our lives. We live our lives basically from this place, and we actually hurt ourselves, we hurt our loved ones. So it is important that we bring a certain amount of pause to our lives, to bring attention to whatever is happening within us. I'm able to live our lives from a beautiful state. Because only when we live our life from a beautiful state can we create a life that is beautiful and also a world that is beautiful.
I'm very curious now, Preetha, in terms of overall meditation practices. I know that Our listeners today who've just gone through this with us today are probably wondering if they wanted to do this for themselves, to get started with meditation today. Let's say that the listener today doesn't meditate very often, kind of like me. What's the best first step to really make that part of their practice?
I would just like to leave every listener with one question. So it's both me and my husband who have founded this academy, One World Academy. And my husband is Krishnaji. He says, all of human beings, all of them, are living their lives only from two states. One is a suffering state. The other is a beautiful state. So we can say suffering state or a stressful state. It could include the entire spectrum of stress and suffering, which would be anger, fear, hurt, jealousy, loneliness. And the beautiful state could be a state of peace, love, calm, joy, connection, bliss, tranquility, or a sense of expansion. We either live in a limited suffering state or we live in an expanded, beautiful state. The question for every listener here is, what is the state in which you're living your life from? And if you're living a life from a stressful state or a suffering state, we create more stress, we create more suffering for ourselves and people around us. On the other hand, if we live our life from an expanded, beautiful state, you're going to create a beautiful life for yourself, a beautiful life for your loved ones, and the world around you. The question is, which state are you living from? It is important to be authentic to yourself. And it is important to bring attention to the state from which you're actually living your life. That, I would say, is the most important starting point for anybody. Because only when we know where we are, only when we know how much we are complicating our lives because of our state, then we want to move away from that state into experiencing beautiful things in life.
Yeah, that's such a great place to begin. I think that frame of mind is a perfect place to begin in terms of figuring out where you are and where it is you want to be. I think that's a great beginning place.
We all hold a vision. We all hold a vision for creating wealth. We hold a vision for having a wonderful body, for our health. But the starting point is holding a vision, which we call at One World Academy, a spiritual vision for your state of being. For we believe that is the starting place for every other vision, which we call it the mother of all visions. If this vision is strong and powerful in you, that you want to live in a very beautiful state, you don't want to suffer, you want to experience beautiful things in life from a beautiful state, this spiritual vision will take you a long way.
Yeah, definitely. That's so powerful. No, Preetha, outside of meditation, or maybe include meditation as well, what are you personally most passionate about today? Like, what are you most excited about in life?
We run an academy over here, and we run several programs in the academy. And we have a 2-day program which travels across the world. We have a 4-day program which travels across the world. We have several courses happening in the campus in India. When we see a person transform, when we see a person starting to experience an expanded sense of self, when we see a person starting to experience beautiful states in consciousness, actually it is very fulfilling for us. And more fulfilling is when we see a parent transform, because it leaves a lasting impression on several generations. If you're going to be a stressful parent, if you're going to be a parent in suffering, in anxiety, and you live your life that way, your children are just imprinting on you. So you're not only causing a stressful life in terms of your inner world for yourself, but you're also creating stressful children who are being stressed, and the stress continues because they imprint on you. When we see a parent transform, I'm very passionate because I'm a mother of a 13-year-old. I know what it goes into bringing up a child.
It sounds like being a parent, I mean, in many ways, being a parent certainly is the most important jobs on the planet. And it sounds like when you're able to help someone like that who has, in a position to influence others so strongly, that would seem like a very powerful place to begin.
Yes. Either a parent or a mentor or a team leader, anybody who can impact. We have many great leaders coming to our campus, and we're very happy when they are transformed, because we know the transformation doesn't stop. The beautiful state doesn't stop and doesn't stop with oneself. It spreads.
So, Preetha, on my podcast, I love to ask all my guests really about kind of what this podcast is all about, which is waking up early. But I think more importantly than that, what an ideal day would look like to you. So I'm curious if you have any certain habits or practices, or like how would an ideal day kind of flow for you?
Ideal days, I would start with the soul sync meditation because it doesn't take much time. And I start off my day with the soul sync practice. And sometimes if we're going to bed, I do it again because it leaves me with such clarity in thinking. I know exactly what I want to do that day. And I'm doing it all from a beautiful state of calm and peace. And I know if there is a disturbance coming within, I know that it is coming, and I'm able to bring greater attention very quickly. So the practice that we just did right now is what I start off with.
So you would begin the day with that meditation, and then are there any other kind of key habits you would have throughout the day?
Yes, I bring a lot of attention to my breath. So if you think of one single practice that moves away from a state of stress and calms your body immediately, it would be to bring attention to one's breath. The first step is you inhale and exhale. You bring attention to your breath. Then you inhale, and then you hold your pause. You hold your breath, you pause, and then you exhale, where your exhalation is twice as long as your inhalation. Suppose you are inhaling for 3 counts. You hold your breath for 3 counts, and then you exhale for 6 counts. So you inhale, hold your breath, and you exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anytime I feel disturbed, anytime I'm feeling stressed in my body or in my mind or emotionally, I bring attention to my breath and I practice this breathing for 3 cycles. It doesn't take much time. This breath actually relaxes the body and centers you in the present moment. So then you have greater clarity in thinking, and your response to situations are much clearer.
So would you do that kind of a practice throughout the day? I guess maybe in times where you might feel more stress or pressure. Is that an ideal time to do this?
Yes, definitely. Whenever you feel you don't have enough time, but you can you can take off this time for 3 breaths, and you are in a better place by the time you finish those 3 breaths.
Wow, this has been such an incredible interview today. This is such a unique experience. I'm so glad to have had you on the show today. I've learned a lot just going through the practice today. Certainly, I will definitely come back and do this again every day if I can. But Preetha, I'm sure our listeners today would love to learn more from you and more about the One World Academy. So where can they find you and find more information about what you do?
oneworldacademy.com. And we run programs throughout the world. And we are in the US in September, in October, in July. July we have a 4-day program in New York. And we have a 2.5-day program in San Francisco in September. So I can share you all the dates, and it's all up on the website. So
yeah, that'd be great. I'll be sure to put those in the show notes for all of your information and when you'd be available, for classes in the U.S. and wherever else you may be around the globe. So that'll be great.
Sure. It would be wonderful to have you in one of our programs.
Oh, certainly. Great. Yeah, I would really enjoy that for sure. But thank you again for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I will also send you the Soul Sync meditation, and you can share it with your listeners.
Now for the one big action step this week. Commit to a daily moment of calm. Now, if you're anything like me, even finding 10 minutes for meditation on most days can be tough. So instead of trying to overcommit up front, just start with something tiny and achievable. So commit to a daily moment of calm. It can be any length of time you'd like, but just find a moment where you can focus your breath, really live in the present, and be at peace. Just one moment every day. That's it. And as always, if you want to see the show notes for the episode this week, be sure to go to jeffsanders.com/213 as in episode 213. Finally, on the podcast next week, I'll be discussing how to scale back when you don't know how. It's so easy to create rhythms, routines, and habits that make us believe we are stuck in our current situation, but there's actually a lot we can do to let go and really free up our precious time. So tune in next week for that, but that is all for this week here on the 5 a.m. Miracle Podcast. Until next time, remember, you have the power to change your life, and that fun begins bright and early.